If you've ever toured it, you know the province of Ontario is blessed with some of the greatest diversity in trail riding that you could discover anywhere. One of the regions that is often overlooked by the sledding population is a district known as Snow Country. This area, which traverses from Renfrew along the historic Ottawa River and across to portions of Bancroft and Haliburton County, offers over 2,500 kilometers of superb sledding opportunities. The Ontario Federation of Snowmobile Clubs is encouraging clubs and regions to offer set loops for riders to experience, and this region offers many. The famous Rap Tour, the Madawaska Highlands Loop, the Calabogie Highlands Loop, Round Bonnechere Loop, and the Voyageur Loop all offer sledders many options of where to ride with warm hospitality.
Snow Country is an affiliation of a number of clubs. I think there's 10 clubs in the group District 6 that have all got together and pooled their trail pass money together to share the burden of fixing and grooming trails. One club around here, generally, for example, our club, we only sell 150 permits a year. It's not enough to fuel the machine, let alone maintain the machine and open trails and sign them, etc. So by sharing the wealth from other clubs that have some money, we're able to have trails.
We've been open for since I think Christmas. The majority of the trails have been coming along, and right at the moment, I've rode a couple other neighboring districts, and I still think that our trail system is one of the best in the province. We don't have big population centers. Like Pembroke is probably your largest center that you're going to hit. It's more smaller villages. A lot of the trails are built on forest access road, old abandoned rail line. And the old abandoned rail lines used to run right through all the villages years ago, so we've kind of incorporated that into the district trail system. So lots of services, lots of places for fuel. It's a nice place to come and spend 3, 4, or 5 days.
The Opiongo Snowbirds, located at Barry's Bay, is a small-sized club with a big heart. For many years, this club is the first to have open trails in the province, and even though they don't have a huge volunteer base, they always seem to get the job done for touring and local riders, regardless of the challenges.
First, we opened the trails when it first snowed before Christmas, and then, of course, Christmas comes. We didn't groom yet, but we went through, opened the trails, signed them, got ready, hoping to open by Christmas all of the trails. And then we got a little bit of an ice storm and then a heavy wet snow. It slashed in all the trails, completely closed them just before Christmas. We had to hire a skidder to come in and punch the trails out, and we had 20 volunteers on and off throughout the situation, which is not a lot because we have over 200 kilometers to open. But we got most of the trails open, the trunk trails open before December 24th, and then it took us about 2 more days to finish opening the B Trail towards Pembroke. But we were open before January 1. All the trails were green, ready to go. It was perfect.
Located where they are, and with a small number of club permit buyers, it does make things difficult at times for the crew, but this club does its best with the volunteer base it has.
Yeah, it is very difficult because we have such a small volunteer base, so we tax our volunteers tremendously. So by the end of the season, we're all exhausted. And but the volunteer base that we do have are so committed to the trails, and we have a level of expectation of the quality of the trails that we're providing to the riders. And so we feel very strongly about that, and we'll work 24/7 to provide the product that the public is expecting on a shoestring budget. I mean, that's just what we do.
Great trails, new bridges, and loads of hospitality mixed in. The club is very proud of all the trail system they maintain.
Well, it's just the people here that run these lodges in all the different locations. They really enjoy snowmobilers and snowmobiling themselves, so they put their heart into their jobs. The people that are running the trails here obviously do the same thing. The trails are just fantastic. I'm a huge snowmobiler myself, and that's the main reason why I do this, because I want to make sure that I have nice trails to ride on. And I make sure that where I'm riding, it's flat, and it's smooth, and it's brushed, and well signed.
They can expect very few road crossings, all bush trails, lots of geographical relief, hills, trees, beautiful rivers and waterfalls, lookouts, just spectacular scenery. And if they're quiet, they might actually see some wildlife. Yes, that's the former railway bed, which is the Tops B Trail. goes from Whitney to Barry's Bay, basically. And part of the trail follows the Madawaska River. There's a number of waterfalls along there. There's some historic sites that you can stop at. That one of them was a grist mill that they actually milled logs at that location. So there are some parts that are still there that you can see in the water. And so, yep, there's a lot of history there.
Being spoiled at one of the many lodges and resorts is part of the appeal to the area. Our crew set up at the Spectacle Lake Lodge, who truly understand how important touring riders are to the area and how good the product is that they offer.
It's number one. It's awesome. It's great. It's fabulous. We have a great club that does a great job. And I can honestly say, unless the groomer breaks down and can't come through, our trails are always just the greatest. Always. I can't complain about it at all. And it certainly has been a big attraction. I think we have some of the most beautiful trails. We have the waterfalls, the rapids. We have beautiful bush, the deer, the moose, the rabbits. You see all the wildlife. To me, it's a wonderful area to snowmobile in.
Historic routes to follow, some great scenery, and plenty of places to stay and ride from. Make Snow Country, District 6 in Ontario, one area well worth visiting.